When you finally go, oh, this is where I'm messing up. I got to do this. And like, it takes out the middleman, right? And it's just like, oh, there. So you approach the problem, you ran into the problem on your own, you troubleshooted it, you figured it out, and you fixed it, and it's no longer a problem. But you got to
When,
prep them. You got to prep guys to do that. Sometimes they don't do that. They just go until a coach.
okay, so that was kind of where I was going next. That was where I was going next, Brian, because this is really I think the most valuable part of the conversation when they're not figuring it out and and it's not for a lack of trying. Okay, it's not for a lack of trying. It's not a lack of effort. It is sometimes their competitive nature gets in the way. Sometimes their hard-headedness gets in the way. How do you negatively reinforce the fact that they're not picking up on the mistakes that they're making, that they're simply making the same mistake over and over and over? How do you negatively reinforce that while at the same time encouraging them to kind of think for themselves?
I think if they're not seeing it, then you have to. There's a couple of things. One, I would the first thing I would do is this. I would say, hey, let's watch some film, right? You see what you got going on here, and that can just be. Sometimes I just video if it's a drill. I'll just take my phone and just video some clips and practice in an individual workout and show them show them what they're doing wrong, and then if they did it right once, like say here's where you had it right.
Mhm.
And I think you can move the needle a lot just by doing that.
Sure. Never thought to do
And
that. As goofy
yeah,
as much as I carry a freaking camera around with me, it never occurred to me to actually video them. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, that's part of it is just saying, hey, and then let's watch it together. You see this. I also like to like when we do in our individual workouts, I like to grab guys that are good at feedback, right? So there's guys on our team that when we do individual workouts, especially when the lineup is set and the guy is the guy, I grab workout partners that are very good coaches. They have quick feedback loops on, hey, I feel this, right? When you did it this way, I feel this. When you do it the other way, I'm missing it, right? And I encourage that dialogue. And so there's a guy like Hayden Mills, who was our backup 33 pounder last year from Kansas guy who we absolutely love, our lifter of the year this year, by the way. I used him for Van D because he would jump in before me a lot of times, you know. So film is good. You know, a lot of when you recognize that they're just being hard headed and they're just only going one way, it's like then it's the talk like, hey, you know, there's a difference between being hard headed and hard nosed. Like you're being a hard head right now. Like you need to step back, get out of your way. And some of it may just be, Mike, that you know they just might need a freaking break. You know that because that is a question that you have to ask yourself as a coach. Like, where are they at? Are they just at an end of their training cycle? They just need a break, you know. And
Mm.
sometimes that is, you know, you just get to the point where you're like, you've been in it and you've been trying, and it's just frustrating. And sometimes the best thing to do is just walk away from it, right? Even for a few days.